Hi everyone, and welcome back to another tutorial with Polka Art Studio. My name is Andrea, and today we're going to create something really special together. A charming little suitcase that holds an adorable envelope-style booklet, all beautifully coordinated with the Woodland Friends theme. This really is the perfect little summer project, cheerful, decorative, and so much fun to put together. It's a lovely way to spend a relaxing afternoon crafting, whether you're on your own or sharing the moment with a friend or loved one. It's been designed as a companion piece to the Woodland Friends journal collection, and it's just the right size to hold all those little bits and pieces from the add-on kit, like tags, labels, fussy cuts, and mini journaling cards. But of course, you can also use it for anything else you like. Tuck in some handwritten notes, little keepsakes, or even turn it into a thoughtful handmade gift for someone special. I printed the entire kit on 160 GSM matte photo paper, which works beautifully for this project. You really don't need anything thicker, unless you personally prefer a heavier weight. There's quite a bit of layering involved, so by the time everything's assembled, the final piece feels nice and sturdy. As for supplies, you don't need a lot. Aside from your usual glue and maybe some ribbon, the only extra bits you could use are a few eyelets to decorate the front straps, some Velcro pads to help keep the envelope booklet securely closed, and a touch of decorative lace. Totally optional, but it adds a lovely touch if you have some. Of course, feel free to use any other embellishments you have on hand. This project is really easy to personalize and make your own. If you're ready to craft along, let's get started. We're going to begin by preparing the main panels for the suitcase. First up is the top lid, and we're going to start with some scoring to help shape it properly. You'll want to score each side of the lid twice, once close to where the middle section begins, and then again right in the middle of the side tab. This will allow you to fold each side in two places, which gives the lid that neat, structured look and helps it sit nicely over the base. Next, we'll move on to the base of the suitcase. This part is really simple. Just score along all four sides right where the middle section begins. Now that everything is scored, go ahead and fold up all the sides along those score lines. Next, we'll apply glue to the small side tabs in each of the corners. Once the glue is on, simply fold up the side panels and press them firmly against the corner flaps to secure everything in place. This will start forming the box shape of your suitcase base. Take your time here to make sure everything lines up nicely. It's a key step to getting that crisp, clean finish. Now let's move on to creating the lid. Start by folding in each of the 3 scored sides. This will help shape the box-like structure of the lid. You'll notice that one side is plain, with no tabs or folds. That's intentional. We'll use that flat edge later to attach the lid to the base of the suitcase. For now, just like we did with the base, we'll work on building the box shape using the corner flaps. Fold each corner flap inwards, then fold the side panel over and glue it down securely. Once all the corners are in place, you can now fold over the remaining side panels to cover the flaps and glue them down. This gives the lid a neat, finished look and adds a bit of extra strength to the structure. Now we'll move on to these 2 long strips. These were designed to be attached to the inside walls of the suitcase base. They help to reinforce the structure and also add a more decorative, finished look on the inside. To use them, simply score along the lines, fold each strip in half, and then glue the 2 sides back to back. Once they're dry, we'll be able to attach them inside the base for extra strength and a tidy finish. To attach the strips, apply glue to one half and place it along the inside walls of the base, starting with one long side and then a short side. Gently press the strip in place, making sure it sits evenly and reaches all the way down to the bottom of the box. You might notice that the strips are actually a bit taller than the edges of the suitcase. Don't worry, that's completely intentional and part of the design. It helps the lid close nicely and adds a layered, dimensional look once the suitcase is finished. Everything will fit just right in the end. Once done, simply repeat the process with the other side. Now let's move on to attaching the suitcase straps. But before we add them to the project, we'll need to assemble them first. Start with the two straps that have the little buckle designs. For these, just glue the back sides together so they're nice and sturdy. Then, take the two simple straps. These don't have any buckles, and do the same. Fold them in half and glue them back to back. Once they're dry, we'll be ready to attach them to the suitcase. We'll start by attaching the buckle straps first. These will go on the top lid of the suitcase. To position them correctly, tuck the plain end of each strap just underneath the top edge of the lid. This is where they'll be anchored. Once you've placed them roughly where you want them, you can fold the strap right at the edge of the box, so it naturally follows the shape of the lid. This little fold helps the strap curve neatly over the edge, giving the suitcase a realistic and finished look. Now that the straps are in place, we can go ahead and attach the lid to the base of the suitcase. Apply a bit of glue or double-sided tape to the inner edge of the plain side of the lid, the one we left unscored earlier. Then simply align it carefully with the back edge of the base and press it down to secure. Take your time with this step to make sure everything lines up neatly and give it a moment to dry before moving on. Next, we'll move on to the plain straps, which will go on the underside of the suitcase. Just like before, fold them in half and glue the two sides together if you haven't already. Then position them on the base so that the ends wrap up from the bottom of the suitcase to meet the buckle straps on the lid. Glue the ends to the bottom of the base and again, fold the strap right where the edge of the box is, so it hugs the shape nicely. To keep the suitcase securely closed, you can add a small Velcro pad under each strap where it meets the buckle on the lid. This makes it easy to open and close and adds a cute finishing touch. The last step for this part is to attach the handle. To make it nice and sturdy, take the two matching handle pieces and glue them back to back. This gives it extra strength and a finished look on both sides. Once the glue is dry, apply a bit more glue to each end of the handle and attach it to the top of the suitcase lid, right in the center. For extra reinforcement and a bit of decorative detail, you can also use small brads to secure the ends in place. It really helps the handle hold up if you plan to open and close the suitcase often. To finish off the suitcase, let's add the interior decorative panels. These are the final details that really bring the whole piece together. You'll have one panel for the inside of the lid and another for the inside base. Just apply glue to the back of each piece and press them neatly into place. They'll cover up any tabs or seams and give the inside a clean, polished look. And with that, your little suitcase is complete. Now we're moving on to the little envelope booklet that fits inside the suitcase. It's made up of 8 envelopes in total. I've already gone ahead and assembled 7 of them, and we'll put together the final one together so you can see exactly how it's done. To start, score along the lines on the sides of the envelope. Then fold in the left and right flaps. Apply glue to the side edges of the bottom flap and fold it up over the side flaps to seal the envelope. The kit also includes some faux wax seals, which I've used as a lovely little decorative touch on the front of each envelope. Now let's create the cover for our envelope booklet. This step is completely optional, but if you'd like to keep your booklet neatly closed, you can add a simple ribbon closure. To do that, just glue a strip of ribbon to the inside of the front cover panel before you assemble everything. Make sure to leave enough length on either end so you can tie a bow around the booklet once it's finished. In your kit, you'll find 9 hinge-like elements. These are what we'll use to connect the envelopes and covers together to form the full booklet. Start with hinge 1, placing it down on your workspace with the white side facing up. Then, take one of your envelopes and glue it onto the right-hand side of the hinge, lining it up neatly with the edge. This will be the first piece of your accordion-style envelope stack. You can either glue the entire side of the envelope to the hinge for a fully secured page, or just apply glue to the top and bottom edges only. This way you'll create a handy tuck spot, perfect for sliding in little notes, tags, or extra ephemera. Next, we'll go ahead and attach the front cover of the booklet. To do this, simply apply glue to the hinge that's attached to your first envelope and glue it down onto the inside of the front cover panel. Make sure it's centered and aligned with the edge. Once that's in place and secure, you can fold the front cover over and glue the 2 sides back to back, creating a sturdy and finished look. Now let's continue with hinge 2. Take the hinge and fold it in half, just like before. This time, make sure the design side is facing up. We're going to glue the left side of this hinge over the back side of the envelope we just attached. Next, take the right side of hinge 2, apply a bit of glue, and attach it to the back of envelope 2. Make sure everything lines up neatly along the edges. This way your booklet will fold nicely as you build it out. From here on, we'll repeat the same process to build the rest of the booklet. Take hinge 3, fold it in half with the design side facing up, and glue the left side onto the previous hinge. Then, glue the right side to the back of envelope 3. Just keep following this pattern with each hinge and envelope until the stack is complete. When you reach the last envelope, it's time to add the back cover. Just like before, take your final hinge and glue the back cover onto it. Make sure it's aligned nicely with the rest of the booklet. Once it's secure, fold the back cover in half and glue the two sides together. This will give it a sturdy finish and neatly hide the hinge inside. And with that, your envelope booklet is complete. But before you glue the back cover shut, don't forget about the ribbon if you're adding a closure, just like we did with the front cover. Place the other end of the ribbon inside the back cover, making sure it's aligned with the one at the front so you can tie them together later. Once the ribbon is in place, go ahead and glue the cover closed, sealing everything neatly inside. Included in the kit, you'll also find 8 matching cards, perfectly sized to tuck inside each of the envelopes. You can use them for journaling, notes, little quotes, or even to add extra decorative elements. To finish off the booklet beautifully, you can use the decorative spine piece included in the kit. Just wrap it around the spine area. It will cover the folds and give the whole booklet a clean, polished look. It also adds a bit of extra strength and ties everything together visually. And finally, don't forget to have fun with all the lovely ephemera pieces included in the kit. There are all sorts of tags, labels, florals, woodland animals, and more, perfect for decorating your booklet inside and out. For the cover, we'll do a bit of layering to create a fun collage-style look. You can mix and match different elements to add texture and charm. Of course, you don't need to follow the exact same layout I'm using. Feel free to get creative and make it your own. That's the beauty of handmade projects. Thank you so much for watching. We hope you enjoyed this project and that you'll have just as much fun making it as we did putting it together for you. We'll see you in the next tutorial, but until then, have fun crafting.